In 3, 2, 1. Richard, what's good?
Everything, brother. How about you?
Doing pretty well. We got some feedback on our first podcast.
Yeah.
Better than we thought.
Yeah, we appreciate all of it, actually.
We had a friend that gave us a C, and honestly, I'll take that.
Yeah, we also had a friend that wrote down notes and gave us a voice message, which is pretty awesome.
Which is very helpful, honestly.
Yeah.
And these are things that, like, I feel like, we'll get our sea legs on us as we, the more we do it, the more, we'll write our sails and sail the ocean blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you like that metaphor? That was a pretty good metaphor.
I
just came up with that metaphor at the top of my head.
You know what's crazy? I was looking at you to see if you were
going to
going. Yeah.
Where is he going right now?
I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I want to start off this podcast with a question directed to you, Richard.
All right, let's get deep. Let's get into it.
Do you think that the majority of people in this world want to be unique or want to conform?
I think a lot of people want to conform.
So you think the majority of people in this world are just happy with conforming? They don't have any desire to be super unique and super
sticking out is scary for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think conformity and not sticking out or being an oddball is comfort for a lot of people. So I think conformity is something that
most people want.
Or most people do.
Well, definitely most people do, for sure. Yeah. But I think
I want. Yeah.
I think still even want.
Yeah, I'm saying
maybe not want, but prefer. I just rather be conform. You know what I mean? Not I really want to conform. They're just I'd just rather conform.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are breaking barriers.
We're breaking free. We're soaring. Flying.
What is going on? Why do I hit these?
That we can reach.
I gotta stop just saying random things because I feel like that triggers something in your head.
I'm like a human jukebox. Bro.
Yes.
It's kind of weird, right?
Yes, Sam.
But I like it. It feels nice when I can just boom, here's a song to go with the end of that sentence.
Yeah. I mean, but it's not the end of the sentence. It's the beginning of something weird.
Yeah.
For me at least.
Well, I take whatever you just said
and
then think about what lyrics line up with what you just said.
Yeah.
And then
you do that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Should I apologize?
No, never apologize.
Oh.
Never.
But what if I prefer to conform?
Conform in what way?
But never apologize, period? Ever? I don't agree with that. I think humility is a virtue. And being you know what? I'm sorry, I fucked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. But never
don't apologize for
being you. Don't apologize for standing out a little bit. For being a little unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't hurt other people or
get
in the way.
Don't apologize for deciding to be unique rather than conforming.
Yeah. I think about the conforming versus unique question. I think people go through phases.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I think when you're born, till you're
born weird.
What?
He said born weird.
Born.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
Born.
I thought you said you didn't want to look at the camera,
well,
and you've been doing it a lot.
Look at the camera, and so what if I do? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at all of you. I'm trying to make sure that you're ready for this.
There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
Sam, I'm scared. I'm so scared for you to be an old man, and then people take
fucking crazy shit.
You're gonna hear so many songs.
I'm trying to mellow out.
Oh my god!
Nah, I won't try to.
No, you will not.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I think people go through phases in terms of what if they prefer to be unique or they prefer to conform. I think when most people are young, for most of your young life, you don't really think about the world like that. You just kind of do you, and if it's conforming or not, you don't really give a crap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think probably in middle school and high school is when the social world starts to really register on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's the first time kids probably split. Some kids are I just want to conform, and some kids are I really want to be unique. And often I think that the kids who in middle school like choose to conform, when they become adults, they choose to be unique, and vice versa. Like the kids in middle school who decide like, I'm gonna be unique, I'm gonna stand out, I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? By the time they're done with high school and they've kind of like, I mean, it's kind of a cliche to sort of hit your prime in high school, and then kind of like the rest of your life is more about like conforming and just getting through shit. But like, I do think that's true. That like the kids who kind of like decide to like float to the back in middle school and high school and like not stand out and sort of like not put themselves out there, as adults sort of change that whole dynamic, and vice versa. The kids who like want to be unique and want to stand out,
waiting for the time to shine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think people go through phases, but I think people's default, especially like if you were to time those phases and just like the amount of time, probably people spend more time preferring to conform than they. I think if you were to like to time it, like if someone was like standing next to you through your whole life and they had a stopwatch going, and you're like, you know what, I want to be unique now, and like you stop the stopwatch until they decide, you know what, I just prefer to conform now, and then you start the top. My point is, people probably spend more. Well, I'm saying people go through phases. You know, they probably spend more time preferring to conform than they spend trying to be unique or preferring to be unique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a great point.
And I think basically once you reach a certain age, you just don't give a fuck anymore. Again, there's phases in life that people go through of like wanting to conform and not, and going back and forth.
You don't give a fuck in a way that you just want to conform and just be all right, or you want
you want to be you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like you reach a certain age and
that in a sense is conforming to a certain mindset,
to doing whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, that seems like conforming for some reason.
I mean, if you define that as conforming, then everything is conforming.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people that at a certain age when they're like, yeah, I just don't give a fuck anymore, all of them are kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, but if they're doing unique things under that theory, then they are being unique.
That's true.
That's true. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be
absolutely.
I'm gonna fly to Argentina.
You got me again, Sam. You've been on a roll. You've been on a roll. You know what? I applaud you.
Don't clap. Don't clap for me.
That was good, brother. I you know what? You're doing it. You're doing it big.
It's definitely, I mean, for sure, it's definitely, obviously more comfortable to conform.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't really feel comfortable conforming. I always feel like if I'm conforming, I feel uncomfortable because I feel like I could be doing more with my life and doing more stuff and figuring out more things and pushing myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at answering these questions because I feel like I don't know. It gets personal because I always feel like I want to stand out and I want to be unique, but I don't know. I feel like I conform too easily. It's
like it's our default.
Yeah.
It's like when we don't try, it's like the default gets flicked down to like just, and it's safe.
It's so safe. I always take the safe road.
I take the safe road in certain aspects of my life for sure.
Yeah. This is sad. I just got sad.
You're sad?
Yeah.
So that means that you feel sad when you conform.
Yes.
So that means it's not more comfortable.
It's definitely.
It's safer, but if you're sad, being sad is not comfortable.
Okay.
Do you think being sad is comfortable?
No.
Yeah.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy Ball.
Sammy Ball.
Sammy Ball. Samwise Lickman.
That's me.
Samwise the Great. Yeah. You saw the Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
You didn't?
I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Why?
I don't want to get into it.
Wow.
Bro, I had this huge debate with my friends in my group chat about it.
Wait, why?
Bro, I don't want to get into it.
No, but I just need to know the overarching reason why.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl because All right, I'm just gonna give you the very
Very
black and white
yes,
answer.
very.
I don't care about either team that was in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Neither did I. But do you not care about are you going to watch football next year?
Yeah.
And you don't care about the pinnacle of the sport that you really like
Well,
this season?
I don't want to talk about this.
Fair
Next
enough.
topic.
Fair enough.
Redo.
Fair enough. No. But that's I just wanted to ask you about if you obviously you probably saw some clips of Shakira. And,
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
All right.
Don't get it twisted.
All right. So Shakira versus J-Lo. What were your thoughts on that?
Like, if they both said, "Sam, I want to marry you," but I could only pick one.
Look at you. You your mind is already in the gutter. You saw they were literally on stage together. You could compare them from what they did.
You're saying which performance did I like better?
Yes.
I like Shakira's better.
Yeah. Hers was great. Shakira did an incredible job, but J-Lo's music it's like timeless. You know, every song she did, I was like, "Oh, I know that song." And then when Shakira did that weird,
that was sick. I
was
liked that a lot.
What? That was sick.
Awesome. Yeah, that was sick.
I thought she was going wild. I was like,
apparently
she
that's some
accidentally
sort of Arabic like party holler. Like it's like, you know how like Americans would be like raise the roof or something. That's how Arabs are like, raise the roof. They're like, oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Her dad is Lebanese apparently, and so that was like an ode to her Lebanese heritage.
Okay.
Apparently, that's what people are saying. I don't know.
It might have just been the angle from like the shot of where it was coming from. It just looked.
Oh, it
weird.
was. Yeah, it
She
was
like,
definitely like. It was definitely like. Before I read about it, I was like, "What just happened there?"
Yeah, what
but I was
is
still
going on?
like, "That was pretty cool. I like what just happened there."
Yeah.
Like, bro, if I was doing something like that, like that big stage, I'd do something weird like that. Just
Oh
to
yes,
throw
you
people
would.
off.
Oh
It's
yes,
like,
you would.
I respect that. I respect people just like when you've got a platform like that, just do something so weird, and people are just like, "What?"
No, but then you're just doing it for the talking point.
Yeah, you're right. I would do it more. Yeah. I just feel like do something unique. Again, back to the unique versus conformity. Like do something unique. Do something that people weren't expecting. God damn it. Dude.
All right. No, okay. But my favorite part of the Super Bowl was when they both had their butts to the camera, and they were shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some time to compare both of them. And you know, you had J-Lo over here, you had Shakira over here.
Mm-hmm.
J-Lo's 50.
Mm-hmm.
How old is Shakira? I would think like 42.
How old is Shakira?
37.
How old is Shakira?
Shakira is 43 years old.
I mean, they're not that far separated by age. But, jeez, Shakira's body was incredible.
Yeah.
Shakira's body was incredible. That was my favorite part of the Super Bowl.
I didn't even tune in. It was on YouTube like 10 minutes after it aired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I literally like went to. I wasn't even looking for it. I just was like, I think I was listening to a podcast actually. I think I was listening to a podcast, and the podcast had ended, so I had like hit the YouTube icon just to go back to YouTube, see if there's anything else I wanted to listen to. And like, the first thing that popped up was like full performance of the halftime show, and I was like, oh, I'm watching that. I was like this, Richard.
Who would be your Nope, I'm not looking at you. Who would be your favorite like halftime show? Like if you could set up.
Here's
like,
one thing.
Put a lineup.
I'm so
together.
glad they're putting like women back in the fucking halftime show. Like they had banned them for like so long after the Janet Jackson thing. It's been
banned?
a while. They like just didn't put like. I mean, they had Katy Perry and Beyonce and stuff, but like I feel
Gaga.
for a while like they had like The Who and U2 and Coldplay, and I was like, this sucks. Like, who wants to see fucking Coldplay and U2 at the Super Bowl house? It's like Shakira and J-Lo were exciting. Like when Beyonce performed, she was exciting. It felt like exciting.
Yeah.
So who would I want to see? I just want to see people that again are just gonna push the envelope and be exciting. Like I don't want to see fucking like The Who. I don't want to see the Rolling Stones at the halftime show. It's just too boring.
That's true.
I want to see somebody who is gonna fucking make the halftime show exciting. And if a tip pops out, Who the hell cares? We all got bodies, bro. You care?
I care to see it.
Oh. I'm just saying, like, we're not a Puritan society anymore. I mean, I guess a lot of America is very religious, but it's like, it's a fucking boob, dude.
Yeah. Just let go. Right?
Yeah, like, who cares?
So you believe in free the nipple?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Me too. But what is it? Nipples, burn. Bro. There's another one like burn the bra. Or is that
burn
just
the bra? I think that's more of like women don't like to wear bras because it's uncomfortable. I don't know about that.
I thought that.
I think
more
women should have the right to wear whatever the hell they want to wear. And like if you like, I think the thing is right. Like if they're not wearing a bra, men are like, I can see her nipples. It's like, get over it, bro.
It's true.
You can't handle a nipple. And there's also like, I remember when that free the nipple thing was really becoming big, I had some friends who were like, yeah, but like if you see nipples all the time, like it won't be as cool when you see nipples.
What? I'm dude, like, that's a weird. That's
you
just
need
a
to check in with your sexuality.
Yeah.
That, like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like if seeing too many nipples will make you not like women anymore, then
I don't know if that's what he. I mean, you're the one who talked to him, so I don't know. But
he was saying like
that one thing,
and a couple of my friends were saying like, oh, I just wouldn't like boobs wouldn't be as exciting if you saw nipples all the time. And I was like, nah, bro. That's like I said, you need to check with your own sexuality if that's the way you feel.
Yeah, that's weird. That's
not
just
that there's
weird.
anything wrong with having to check your sexuality, but yeah, I think
that's it. It would be weird if someone was just like, yeah, like too many boobs make you like, nah. That's a weird statement to say. Just out of the blue. Sam, you're looking at me.
You looked at me so dramatically. That's why I kept staring at you because you looked at. This is what
I
looked at.
Didn't look. I went like this.
No,
I went like this.
No. This is what I'm gonna look into the camera like you just looked at me. This is what you looked at. Let's go. And then you turned away like that.
Okay.
I was like, so that's why I just kept staring at you.
I'm gonna look at the camera the way you were staring at me when I turned.
Go. No.
Sam.
No.
No.
I mean, no. Do you know that in Czech, no means yes?
Okay.
Not to get weird like that. I'm just saying, like, that was just like a factoid. No means yes in Czech.
Okay.
Because ano means yes.
Tell me more.
So if you say ano, that means yes. But like people just like shorten it by a letter and just say no, and that means yes.
Well, someone's like, oh,
and no is nay. So you say nay. So it's very different from no. So you say nay, or you say no, and that means yes. So it's nay or no.
Nice.
And that's no, yes.
Is there anything that people in Prague do that you wish they did over here?
That's an interesting question.
That's why I asked it, baby.
I wish people in Prague, they just don't give a fuck, bro.
You're gonna have to elaborate. In what way?
I'm gonna have to elaborate. Like,
so when was the first time you saw someone not giving a fuck and you were like, I fucks with that? Or like,
I can't think of a specific a first time, but it's just like, for example, like our professors used to just be like in the middle of class, they'd be like, oh, I need a cigarette. Everybody take 5, go smoke cigarettes, go get coffee. Like they just don't care. They just like they're just not like worried about just like stupid like rules of society. You know what I mean?
You mean
they
rules
just
of society that we follow here? Yeah,
just like bullshit shit, like, you know, and like they don't judge you. Like there's not a lot of judgment. They just don't give a fuck. It's like, you know, like they're very open with sexuality. They're very open with like gay rights. They're just like open. They just don't care. Like they're not uptight. They're very chill. You know what I mean? They just.
Okay.
Like the professor's like, I need a cigarette. Everybody take a break. Can you imagine a professor in the U.S. being like, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Everybody take 5.
No.
I mean, obviously you get breaks in college classes, but honestly, most breaks are like very planned out. It's like, or if it's an hour class, halfway through we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go pee and we're gonna come right back. It was like, honestly,
it was like, very scheduled for college.
In Prague, it'd be like everybody would be outside smoking or getting coffee, or like some people would like grab beers or like even eat, and like people would come back when they were ready, and the professor would just kind of like start when he was ready. Like it's just like it was a very more laid back, like just like they just weren't worried about like the little things. You know what I mean?
Do you think that was more conducive to like a college environment?
I don't know if it was more conducive.
At least for yourself. Do you think you worked better in that sort of like ease?
I'm I'm pretty flexible. I'm a pretty good chameleon. I can like fit into different like ways of doing things pretty easily. I think it's definitely more conducive to like an artistic, creative environment.
Okay. That's what I was also going to say, because I feel like you went to
I went to study film.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was going to study, astrophysics, I don't know if I would have
a little bit more structure probably would have been more conducive.
Right.
But in this sort of environment, I feel like you have to be a little bit more at ease.
Yeah.
At ease, I guess.
Yeah, and I just feel like people there just didn't really judge you. I mean, it's sort of the flip side of that is people were a little bit cold, like they weren't very as warm as they are here in America and like friendly.
Yeah.
Because they just like didn't care and didn't judge and they just kind of like let you do your thing. There wasn't a lot of like openness and a lot of like warmth between people. So that was like the sort of downside of people just kind of being like judgment free and not giving a fuck, is that they kind of just like would do their own thing, let you do your own thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And especially compared to America, it's like the opposite. I feel like Americans, especially compared to the rest of the world, are very friendly.
You're saying Americans compared to the rest of the world are very friendly?
Yeah.
Okay. I've I don't know if I've heard that, but you're gonna have to elaborate. Like, when have you seen something that Americans do that other countries?
It just strikes me when I travel abroad and come home, and maybe because I'm a foreigner in another country, and here I'm from here, so maybe it has to do with that.
Yeah,
being like the other, and then coming home and being
That's
home.
true. That's true.
But it seems to me like whenever I come back, I'm like, damn, people are so friendly in America. But it's also kind of fake because again, they care about the little things, and they're so structured, and they judge.
You're saying here?
Yeah, I think Americans are very judgmental.
Okay.
They're friendly. It's kind of a weird paradox. Like I'm saying, like Czechs are not very friendly, but they're not judgmental. And Americans are super friendly, but they're also super judgmental.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see. Okay.
What about Haitians?
That's what I was gonna say.
Richard's Haitian, if you don't know.
Because I haven't really traveled the world. The only country I've ever been to outside of America has been
Haiti. That's it?
That's it.
Really?
It's been America and Haiti.
Wow. Not even like Canada or Mexico?
No.
Not even Canada?
Nope.
Huh.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
so
there are some people who haven't even been out of America. So,
but at the same time, I go to Haiti a lot. I mean, not a lot for I guess it's
you go often.
I go often, like twice a year for a little bit. So
1, 2. I want to show the people that 1, 2. That's 2. Waka waka shamana mana. This is for Africa.
That was an accent.
That's how they sing it, bro. I'm just singing it how they sing it.
First off, that Shakira saying she does not say Africa.
I think she does actually in the song. She says it with a bit of like an accent. Anyways, you were talking about Haiti.
Yeah. I guess essentially it is like a third world country. It's I guess everyone's a little just kind of, they have their guards up, So maybe people aren't as friendly as people are here, but I feel like once you get into like a very let me see, like when I go to like the resorts, or if I go to the beach, or if I go out with family or situations like that, it's always a great time because everyone has the same like mentality. But when you're in you're just walking the streets, or if you're out and you go to a club and then you're just kind of walking, you go out to restaurants and then you're just doing something, you don't really go out of your circle because you don't know what's there.
That makes sense.
You don't feel super safe at all times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think
it's kind of like watch out for yourself.
Exactly.
And that's all that matters.
Exactly. I mean, but that's the thing. This is coming from me, a person that never lived there, a person that only goes there for
2-week periods.
Exactly.
Yeah, but your dad and mom are both from there.
Exactly. So but I don't go out with them. I go out with my cousins that live there.
Live with them. You grew up with them. Your mom pushed you out of her vagina, and you're from your dad's semen fertilizing her egg.
Yeah. I feel like we're having a really good what's his name? Chris D'Elia says, a really silly goose time.
Yeah,
right now.
silly goose time.
Good silly goose time right now.
So you're saying Haitians, like once you get to know them, they're really cool, and like they're down to like be friends, and like got your back, but like
That's not what I said.
okay, see you later.
That's not what I said. I think they're extremely cliquey. Extremely cliquey. And
Okay.
if you're not of that ilk or that group,
Yeah.
they will shun you.
Okay.
You know, but I guess when I go there, I'm always attached to a group because I'm not from there.
Yeah.
So I always feel like, oh, I'm okay.
But
Or
they
sometimes-
take you in pretty like they take you under.
Yeah, because of who I'm with at that time.
because you know people who know people. Who
Exactly.
Know
Exactly.
people. Like the Godfather.
Like the fucking Godfather, the Benjamin father.
Richard has Jewish heritage.
Benjamin.
We call him Benjamin. That's his Jewish name.
Exactly. My great grandmother was Jewish
of the tribe.
Was a Jewish woman.
We say of the tribe. My father's Jewish, if you were wondering.
Yes.
Of the tribe.
And
of the tribe. Israelites.
Yes. And her mother's maiden name was Lickman.
What?
Surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Why would you? I saw it in your head come out.
I was like, this is going to be funny. Say it now. Boom.
Oh, dude, come on, man. Just get there.
All right.
Let's say if someone gets to this point right now, I want to get to a serious topic. Let's talk about women and our love life.
No. Okay. All right, you want to talk about women?
Let's talk about women.
Go ahead. You talk about it. What's coming to your mind in terms of women right now?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of our conversations are based around women that we either have crushes on or that we want to talk to, and we just feel so weird in that moment. We feel like kids again. You know, you feel like we don't know what to do, even though like we've talked to a whole bunch of, you know, like we're experienced in life, but every woman that comes up to you that, you know, you might have a little something for, always reaches that point where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's always that point.
You know?
There's always that point of like, you're right on the edge of something. And it's like, you could take a big step, or you could just stay on that edge.
That's true.
The issue is that, all right, think about it like this. There's two cliffs, right? You're on this cliff, right? But you're blindfolded. And someone tells you there's a crack in the cliff, like right in front of you. You got to step over it, or else you're going to fall right in.
Like 1917.
There's a crack in it, and you're going to step right into it if you don't take a big step,
Absolutely.
right? So you got to make a decision. Like, Are you going to take that step blindfolded into the unknown?
Yeah.
Or are you going...
I like this way better.
Yeah. Or are you going to stay on that edge and play it safe? Because there's always a risk involved. There's always a risk that you'll take a step...
Always.
And you'll miss that other side and you'll fall right through.
Yeah.
And then there's the danger of just staying stagnant on the other cliff.
That's the worst. I hate staying. I do it way too often.
So if you hate that, then just take the step.
Yeah, but you know, it also goes back to like, I don't know. You just don't want to be hurt, because if you feel hurt, it's like,
I'm not really worried about feeling hurt.
I am after taking a leap. But then I know after I've taken that leap and then I do get hurt, I do feel better, but it's just that initial sting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If someone's like, hey man, you need a paper cut to get through something, I'd still be like, ugh.
I feel like I feel more...
Like I hate shots. Even though I know I'm going to have to feel that little prick, and in the long run I'll probably feel better because of whatever's being put into me. Always that little prick of when it goes in, it's like, I've ran out of doctor's offices because of it.
Really?
As a man.
Wow.
Cut.
No, that's not a cut. That's not a cut.
Cut.
That's not a cut.
That's a cut.
Do.
But
that's not a cut.
I feel like that honestly gets back to, you know, when my relationship with women, you know, like
that is a really interesting like connection you've made between like I'm scared to get shots and I'm also scared to take that first step.
Yeah.
Just because of that initial pain.
Just that initial thing. And even, I'm not gonna lie, there has been, you know,
you're getting specifics now?
A few, no, I'm not gonna get any specifics.
Not names, but like.
No, because they would know.
Okay. No one's listening.
They do. It was a weird situation where I thought it was a date and they did not think it was a date. And halfway through, I was like, oh, it's not. But I'm glad I took that step at that time where I was like, I felt like it was. But I guess I didn't communicate it well enough.
What did you ask? Well, I don't know how.
Go ahead. I'm like, I'll open up. Go ahead.
All right. What did you ask? See, I try to make it explicit as possible when I ask. Sometimes I'll even be like, "Yo, can I take you on a date?" Like,
I don't even think I said the word date. I think it was like, "Hey, you want to grab some drinks at this time?"
See, if I'm gonna ask a girl out, I'll ask her out to dinner because drinks.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
that's true. I
don't drink, so I don't really ask girls out for drinks, so it's hard. It's kind of hard
Yeah.
for me. But if I'm asking a girl out for bowling, is a really big move by me. I really like bowling.
That's a good one.
Because especially for a first date, because who are you waving to?
To the person that didn't go on. I didn't think it was.
Especially on a first date, bowling is really good because there's a lot of activity and there's a lot of time you're spending away from each other. She's got to get up. She's got to stand, bowl.
That's true.
Then she turns around
and there's like a little embarrassment.
Yeah, then you say something funny real quick, and then she goes again. She bowls. Now it's your turn. She walks back. You say something funny. It's a really good first date. I've done bowling for first dates, and it usually is a pretty good first date.
Yeah.
So I usually go bowling, or I usually go dinner, or I usually go movie.
Movie? No, I don't think I could watch a movie.
Well, in high school,
and try to.
In high school, asking girls to the movie was my thing. I used to ask in high school. I used to say, "Let's go see a movie." I'm trying to think if recently I've asked a girl to go to a movie.
I guess that's translated now to Netflix and chill.
Well, it depends on what stage you're at with a girl. Like, I feel like at this point, I feel like in my life as a 27-year-old, I would ask a girl to go to the movies on like a third date. Although
you would ask a girl to go on a movie.
I would say like by the third date, I'd be like, let's go see a movie.
Yeah. Actually, what have you guys done in the first 2 dates?
Bowling, dinner.
No, I mean like together.
Oh. First date, bowling or dinner. And honestly, sometimes second date can be a little bit more informal, like coffee or lunch. Like, because that's the thing. You want it to start out like, hey, I'm intending to take you on a date in the intention of this becoming romantic, possibly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I start with something big, like dinner or bowling, something at night, right?
Okay.
And then maybe the second date, you take it back a little bit. Like you go to lunch, you get coffee, you go to like a museum or something. I've taken
museum
a girl,
one is good.
I've taken
That's
a girl
really
on
good.
a museum date before.
Yeah.
Actually, the girl I took on a museum date was technically a first date, but we had known each other for quite a long time, and we had already like expressed our feelings to each other a couple weeks before, and it was just like kind of like maybe we should go on a real date. You know what I mean? It was like we were chilling, and we were kind of already like feeling each other. And then I was like, I want to take you on a date. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, let's go to a museum. And she was like, yeah. And so we went to
she was like, no.
She was like, no, thanks. No, but I think that the more informal, like daytime thing is better on a second date. And then third date, movie. And then fourth date, hopefully you're having sex by then. That's just my own opinion.
Do you put a stigma on the women that you date if they give it up to you the first date?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I've dated women long term who have given it up on the first date.
Okay.
So I don't care. I'm willing to give it up on the first date. So why should I judge if a woman's willing to give it up on the first date?
Okay.
I'm saying I would. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get a little too explicit here.
No, because from the last thing you just said, you're like,
I'm
yeah,
just saying,
by the fourth date, like, yeah, hopefully you guys are. But it almost made me feel like,
look,
you're reaching.
I take it by.
You're just trying to get to that fourth.
I take it by case basis.
That's true. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Like if a girl is willing to have, if a girl wants to engage.
What's your ideal woman? And what was your ideal date for that woman?
Personality wise or
personality wise? Looks don't give it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I could describe my ideal woman by her looks.
Yeah.
My ideal woman, it's hard to say because the women I've dated have been so different personality wise. So it's hard for me to pick.
Okay, but
like what do
I'm saying now.
Right now, what would I like?
What,
if I had to
what
write it down on a piece of paper or say it on a podcast with my friend Richard, what would I say?
Absolutely.
I really like people who are good communicators. I really want someone who's just like a really good communicator who like tells it as it is, but not in a mean way, but in like an open way, and like just like is open and honest and talkative and like a really good communicator.
Yeah.
I want somebody who is. This is hard.
I know.
Do you have anything?
That little break, I was like, I felt it because I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't even know if I could do it. I don't know if I could say
the wrong thing. Like there were some words that popped into my mind, and I was like, I don't think I should. Not that they're the truth. It's like a word popped into my mind. And I was like, that's it. And I was like, no, that's not quite it. And that's not quite the right word.
I don't think I have the vocabulary to describe the exact woman I need or want right now.
I definitely want somebody who's like, I don't know. I can't think of the right words, bro. The only thing I could really come up with the right word is a good communicator.
All right. What fictional character would you feel like would be best for you right now?
Oh God, that might be harder, bro.
What
fictional character?
What cartoon character?
Bro. Not cartoon. That's what it is. I feel like when I watch shows, I'm like, I'm so in love with this girl, and then like,
all right, what was the last show that you've seen that you're like,
well, this might be mostly because of her looks. But I don't know. I just felt like I was like, "Fuck, this girl's so amazing." Was because I had a conversation with one of our other friends about it. It's not embarrassing.
No, because I feel like I want to say it was.
I can't remember what her actress name is. It's the woman from Baby Driver. His love interest in Baby Driver.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
She's so weird in it. I feel like
I like weird girls.
She's even weirder than him in it.
I like weird girls.
No, but I mean, like, she's like almost immature. She's like, oh yeah, baby, yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
I thought she was very sweet. I definitely like.
She was very sweet.
You know, I definitely want someone who's kind.
That's very good. That's yeah.
You know, maybe that's why I like her. I thought she was very kind.
Yeah.
And also, she was just very attractive.
She's extremely cute. She is extremely cute.
That's the only one fictional character that can like that.
That's good.
Springs in my mind.
That's real good.
Richard, what about you? What fictional character could you see yourself with?
The last one that I saw. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't end up well for her. But if you guys seen, or if you've seen, the second season of You.
No.
All right. Well, it's the the woman that lives across the street from him. Not the one that he ends up with, but the woman that, you know.
You don't want to spoil it.
I don't want to spoil it.
The woman who lives across the street from him.
Or not even across the street. She lives in the same complex as him.
Okay.
And she has a little. Because
what about her?
Mostly it's looks wise, but I don't know. There's something like you want to get past the meanness, and I feel like when I see a girl that's mean, I'm like, oop, what's behind that? What's going on?
So you like the meanness? See, I'm not about that. I like very kind.
No, like she was super kind, but like she was just straight to the point. Like she didn't care about
communication.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I first said.
She's almost like the women from or the people from Prague. You know, she doesn't care about what's going on. She just wants, she's kind of laissez-faire with everything.
Okay.
But then she got, if she felt pissed off, she communicated that clearly. I hate girls that don't know how to communicate how they feel.
Or like choose not to. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like they think, yeah. I mean,
because I feel like we look at a girl. I can hear myself. I feel like we look at girls and we're like, oh, like I can kind of guess how they are, and then I don't want whatever I think in my head to be true. I want them to build off of that.
I thought of some more words to describe. I definitely want a woman who's open-minded and like very like doesn't judge people, and like kind of like you're saying the people in Prague, but more warm than the people in Prague. But like definitely somebody who's open-minded, understanding.
Okay.
Like I was watching this podcast the other day with that woman Tommy Lauren. You know that like
yeah.
I find her very physically attractive, but she's just like, and it was really interesting in this podcast I was watching. She seemed like this very normal woman. And I was like kind of warming up to her, and I was like, oh, actually like her personality's not so bad. Yeah, so I find Tommy Lauren like very physically attractive. And in this podcast she was acting very normal. Her shtick is like to be very like in your face and very aggressive. Like she's like this right wing like news commentator. And in this podcast she was being very normal, and she was just very kind and very like open. And I was like, damn, like I never was I mean, I found her physically attractive, but I was never attracted to her because I found her personality so off-putting. You know what I mean?
But you're saying at that moment you're like,
because she seems so much more open-minded and not so like ignorant and closed-minded the way she does in like her, like political rants.
Yeah.
And that sort of made me realize like, oh, I definitely want someone who's open-minded, because seeing that contrast between that woman, how like she is in her like political persona versus how she is in her like everyday life, it makes a huge difference personality-wise.
You're right.
With a person.
You're right.
I could never live with a person who was so close-minded about the world and so like.
Was there something in the podcast that she was saying that you're like, oh, I didn't think that she would be as open to that?
Well, something that she said specifically, which is she said she was actually pro-choice, because most people in conservative community are very pro-life. But it just made me think, oh, at least she's open-minded enough to like go against her party and go against like the conventional thinking of her. Now, don't get me wrong. Even in the podcast, she said some ignorant shit and like some shit. I was just like, God damn, you are so ignorant, girl.
Yeah.
And like, so like, but just seeing that contrast of the moments between when she was being ignorant and the times where she was being more open-minded sort of made me realize how much that is a virtue in a person, to be like open-minded and accepting, and not like let people walk all over you or anything.
I feel
but
that.
Just be like, try to like listen to people rather than like talk over them, and try to like.
Something I've been working on.
That's. That was another word. Open-minded, accepting.
I like that.
Like humble.
Hey, yeah, I like that. Hey, well, if there's a woman out there that's watching this and you feel like you have any of those qualities, or maybe even all of them,
my number is 246.
This is Sam Lickman. He's a pretty nice guy. Smells weird sometimes.
No. Hey, cut that.
Vaseline is needed. Okay, if he doesn't have it, you bring it.
This has to be cut, bro.
Yeah, he's right here, and
Richard is right here. His number is 240.
I have one topic that I really wanted to get into, which was about how people put their trust in other people, and are dependent on others. So it's just, how do you feel about putting your trust into new people that you meet, or even like having to feel like you might need to depend on someone? Because I feel like that's a big burden to put on someone else.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So well, I always decide not to do that.
Trust. I think that's why I seek such a good communicator.
This does not have to be about a romantic.
I'm not talking about. I know, but I'm just saying in general. Okay. Like why I seek and why communication is important to me, not just in a romantic relationship, but even in like a friendship or a family member.
Absolutely.
Because I think trust is built on communication.
Yeah. And
like if you're not communicating, if you're not properly expressing yourself to the other person. I'm not saying like you should say everything that's on your mind at all time. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like to build trust with somebody, you have to have an open line of communication. Not necessarily has to be a constant line of communication, but it has to be an open line of communication.
Okay.
And once you have that open line of communication, I feel like that builds trust with somebody. That like, if I need to say something, I can say something. And they know if they need to say something, they can say something. And there's a trust there that builds from that open line of communication. So for me, trust is a lot of trust is about having an open line of communication, an open and honest line of communication.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask if do you just want to hear something that you know would make you feel better in that moment?
Yeah, no, definitely not. I'd rather you tell me the truth.
Okay.
Not in a mean way. I don't want you to be like, "Yo,
But
Sam, you're a fucking asshole." I'd be like, all right, let's chill out a little. You know what I mean?
Look,
but like,
and I agree with that. But then I've also learned that there's a lot of people that's the way that they had. That's the only way they know how to communicate
openly. It's just to be like, "Yo, you're a fucking asshole."
That's how they've started to communicate how they want to get.
Well,
because that's how they've learned.
Honestly, then I would say then they have communication issues.
Well, of course, I feel like everyone has communication. No one is good. You're not.
No one's perfect, of course, but there are there are people who are better at communicating than others. And if you're the type of person who is just like, you're an asshole, then it's like,
no,
you're not that good of a communicator.
Yeah, absolutely. And I listen. I 1,000% agree with you need that open line of communication and all. But I'm also saying, I've learned to not shut out the people that. I mean, I do shut them out a lot, but sometimes I give them a few more seconds to talk. After they say that, because I know that just if they just go to shut up, that's dumb or something. That's just reactionary.
No, I agree. I wouldn't shut people out if they did that. I'd be honest and open with them. I'd be like, bro, let's talk. Like, let's not just like blurt out shit like you're an asshole or you smell bad or.
Shoot.
No, but yeah. And then I wouldn't shut them out, but I would definitely try to talk to them and be like, yo, you could probably get your point across without being so fucking mean about it. You know what I mean?
See, but then if you said that exact thing, that's you being a little. That's you kind of communicating in not the best way to that person.
Really? If I said to
if someone said an asshole, if someone called you an asshole and you go, yo, there's a better, we could talk about it rather than you being a fucking asshole, that immediately causes tension. There's no way that person is gonna take it in a way that you're gonna be like, oh, or they're going to be like, oh, I want to listen to what this person is because they're fighting back with fire. And if they do, shit. I mean, good for them at that moment. But I don't think, I don't know if I would say that to a person that reacted to me or in opening up.
Well, I hear what you're saying for sure. I feel like I would try to do it in the most diplomatic way possible. Maybe I didn't say it because we were just like kind of chatting about it here. But if I was confronted with somebody, I would try to express that in a diplomatic way, and maybe not like say that like you want to rephrase yourself, you know what I mean, or something like that. But I'd be like, want to rephrase yourself?
Say that sentence again, sort of thing.
I'd be like, I don't know what I would say first, but my point in responding would be like, you could probably say that without.
Let's try it again.
Well, that sounds condescending a little bit. Like,
no, but that's something in your head that you were thinking.
Right. That's what I'll try to get to the point. Like, let's see if we can glean this out and like not it be so mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Dependency?
Dependency.
All right, talk about dependency.
Dependency is a lot.
You said that you feel like you put a burden on other people.
Yeah. I don't like depending on other people, and there's a lot of people that I know that I think that I depend on them more than I need to.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel shitty because I know that even to achieve, like the kind of status quo between us, or try to feel like, there's a balance, I would have to go above and beyond, something that he did, or I would have to consistently put effort into that.
I feel like...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I interrupted you.
No, go ahead.
I feel like you've got a good relationship with somebody. I'm not talking about romantic. I'm talking about any sort of relationship. Yeah. Friendship, family, romantic. You know you've got a good relationship with somebody when you know you can depend on them and there's not a scorecard.
That's so true. And you know what? A lot of people that I know, a lot of people that I love up to this moment, I know that it's like there's no yeah. I would do anything for very few people in my life. That like if they're like, hey man, like this is something that I need, or this is something that I you know, or you have, can I, you know, I would be able to give it up for him. I don't know where I was going with that. But
Yeah.
You know what I was trying to mean.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I feel about it. And I feel like that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah. Like,
it's
bro,
like,
you know I love you.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's like, and I don't know, it's not even for me about like there's only a small amount of people that I'd ever do that for. I feel like I've had relationships with people that are not like super close, but I know like if I needed something, they got my back, and if they needed something, I got their back. And again, there wouldn't be a scorecard. There wouldn't be like, I did this and this and this for you, and you only did that and that and that for me. You know what I mean?
And have you ever had someone come back to you and do that?
Do that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes me think like,
don't you feel shitty about it?
I feel shitty about it. It makes me want to run away from that relationship.
Exactly.
I'm just like, all right, I'm done with this.
I totally agree.
Because I feel
totally
like,
agree.
I don't know. And I'm not saying I'm saying maybe sometimes I don't reciprocate enough. But it just feels so weird when somebody makes you feel like that. Like I've done so much for you and you haven't done nearly enough for me. And even if that's true, it kind of ruins the relationship at that point.
That's true.
You
And
know
to be honest, I'm sorry to cut you off, but there is a point where I've reached that, you know, that point in a relationship with a person, and I was like, I've done more for this person than they've done for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I've learned, or I've noticed in myself that I get a little like snippy at them. And usually I'll try to find a way just like to either remove myself from that situation entirely, like immediately, like just kind of shut or ghost them or some way, just so I can feel comfortable in myself, knowing that, you know, even though I haven't given them something, or they haven't given me something in return, I'm still okay, and I can get back into that relationship knowing that I'm okay with myself.
Yeah.
But I've definitely learned to be like, I need to remove myself from a situation when I know I feel like I'm putting something more into it, because I'm like I hate confrontation.
Yeah, me too.
I hate confrontation, and I know that when I depend on someone and or they depend on me, or if it's like a codependent situation and it's not being reciprocated in the right way, it can get snippy. It can get bad. So I've always learned just like, all right, like that's why I love being alone at times, because I know I need to reload.
Well, I don't think that's healthy to solve that just by being alone.
I never felt that it was healthy.
Yeah.
But I just know that I feel better after it. I know in the long run,
you feel safer and more comfortable.
That's it.
Honest to God, I try to approach almost every relationship I've ever had without a scorecard. I almost never in my mind think like that, because I know exactly what you're saying. Like if I did, it would just make things confrontational and awkward, and like I just honestly I just take it. I mean, and probably people think they're weak if they do that. Like, oh, I have to confront this person. I have to make them know. I have to let them know that I've done more for them. You know, I'm standing up for myself. But I think it's stronger to just be like, look, I'm not taking a scorecard. I'm going to just try to be a good person when I can, if I can. And that's all I can control. You know what I mean? I can't control what they do. I can't control when they do it, how they do it. So I'm just going to approach life with my own mentality and my own approach. And I'm not going to keep a scorecard. And that's probably why I have very little confrontation with people I've had friendships with, or well, romantic relationships are a little bit different, but especially friendships, I've had very little, like, I don't think I've ever had like a real fight with my friend. I was actually talking the other day, was it to you? I was talking about a friend that I've had for a long time, a very close friend. And the only like real fight we ever had was about 2K, the video game, the basketball video game.
That was with me.
That was with you.
And I do remember
Yeah.
that conversation that you were having. Yeah.
Because I just try to no matter what, just never keep a scorecard. And like
It's
I said,
hard,
people
yeah.
might think they're weak.
But it's
or
so
like,
hard not to do that. It's so hard not to do
well,
that.
people think that other people are taking advantage of them,
No,
right?
you know what it is? But this is also a thing. I'm sorry. But
Talking to the mic.
but here's the thing. There've a lot of my friends I've had them almost forever.
Yeah. Same,
You know?
Yeah.
So there's some friends that I know that I didn't come in with a scorecard, and those things have blossomed to great things. But there's some that I've had a scorecard, and sometimes I've tried not to have it, but it's always come back in a way. It's always, how do you throw away that scorecard if you
If one of you,
if you already started, what is your advice to someone to throw that away?
I would just do exactly what you're saying, like metaphorically, just throw that scorecard away, just erase it, like just forget about it. Don't think about it. And as you continue on your relationship with whomever, stop tallying. Just like don't keep tallying. Don't continue the tally. Don't continue to score. I feel like you sort of answer that yourself. Like you throw that scorecard away. You gotta burn it.
Yeah.
Because even if you keep remnants of it, you know what I mean? You'll always come back to it. And you'll always be like, yeah, but what about that time? And this time I did that, and we did that for you. And
That's true.
so you just got to burn it, basically. And the best way, like you
crazy.
said, is just never start one in the first place.
That's so true.
way. Yeah.
That's so true. Hey, man, these conversations have been pretty great. Podcast number 2.
1, 2.
Then that's right.
1.
Hey,
I wasn't speaking
hey,
as a mic.
1 is 1 is 1 is 1.
You'll only know that if you watch our first episode. So make sure you tune in, if you haven't seen the first one, to our first one.
Say that one more time.
No.
Make sure you.
No, I'm not saying it again. I'm not saying it again.
Sam, do something weird for the people. All right, we're out. That was good.
Thanks for watching.